I'd like to introduce our guest today, who I've known for all of her life, and St Kilda has known for about 20 years of her life, Rachel Griffiths. Thank you.
I'm very proud to be my mother's daughter. Thanks, Mum. Thank you so much for coming today to support Unchained St Kilda and our local and state residents who are looking to somewhat scale back the proposed development here in this triangle. And we think that actually starts where you're standing right here, right now, in the Palais. First of all, I just want to say, for people who don't know, I'm not just a kind of expatriate Hollywood ring-in that somebody rang up and said, darling, can you come and help me save St Kilda? These are my local environs. When I first moved out of home, I moved to the upper Esplanade, into that apartment block up there, and looked across to the Palais here, where some years later I happily married my beautiful husband Andrew Taylor on one of the most amazing nights of my life. Left as Mrs. Taylor right on this spot, jumped in a cab and went to a nearby hotel to celebrate. I'm not currently a resident of Australia or St Kilda, but we do have an apartment here that we spend several months a year at. My children are booked in to go to St Kilda schools, and I see my family's future as being in this area. So I think that gives me some right to speak, I hope. Firstly, so why are we here? Unchained St Kilda and myself believe that there is an inappropriate development proposal happening in the triangle behind us. One reason that it has a scale and usage which we think is not conducive with the family and tourist enjoyment of this area is that the onus has been put on the developer to pay for the $20 million restoration of the Palais. Because of that, the scale has had to increase in shops and licensed venues, which I worry will create a conflict of use with drunk and other inebriated peoples in the mornings when families come in to use this area. I think St Kilda's always been a place where families go to have fun together. It's not let's go to St Kilda and shop, it's let's go to St Kilda and have an ice cream or have a beer at the SB or walk along the beach. Let's work out together at the sea bars, or let's wander down Ackland Street and pick out a cake. Some families might only come here once or twice a year. For other families, they come in every Sunday and have a ritual, ride their bikes, coffee, followed by a walk, maybe a ride on Luna Park. And it's not just locals, it's interstate visitors and it's international visitors. When I meet people overseas, whenever they talk about Melbourne, they always say, oh yeah, we went to St Kilda, or we went to that amazing old, the old theme park there, or I had the best cake I've ever had in St Kilda. So it's this is a national treasure in the way that the more obvious national treasures in Sydney become kind of postcards for Australia overseas. So we are asking for partnerships today. Local residents, businesses, state government, the Federal Heritage Department, we've sent a letter to Peter Garrett, international local musicians, and theatre operators and promoters, of which there are several fantastic, proven theatrical entrepreneurs in this country that we think will come on board. We want to work with the state government, we want to work with the council in some kind of restoration and lease initiative that will take the Palais out of the equation of this development, which will allow that development to be of a scale and purpose that will suit both our residents and our interstate and suburban visitors. We want to protect the St Kilda that has been enjoyed for 50 years. Just before I left my wedding, there was an old man, a relative of my husband's, and it was 5 a.m. on New Year's Day in 2003, and I said to him as he was eating, I think more than his first trifle, I said, did you have a good time? And he said to me, I haven't been up this late since World War II. And funnily enough, I was down here that night also. And that to me kind of sums up what this place has been for Melbourne, for the last 50 years, for the last century. It's a place to come and have fun with your family. It's not a place it's not Chadstone by the sea. We've got Chadstone, we can get in our car, we can go down, we can do the Chrissy shopping down there and have everything we need here. But that's not what people think of when they think of coming to St Kilda. It's about quality time with their families. So That brings me to today's pledge. And I'm here today to launch a community campaign led by Unchained St Kilda. There are 2,700 seats in the Palais Theatre, and we're looking for individual donors of $5,000 to sponsor a seat. From individuals or local businesses, community groups such as schools or yacht clubs or sporting groups in the area. And I'm happy to announce that I pledged the first $5,000. If I could pick a seat, it would be the seat that my grandmother used to bring me to the ballet, which was, I think, on the aisle in the circle. And also I'd like to announce that overnight we've had confirmation from the Rolling Stones that they will be pledging a seat, and also Bruce Springsteen, who recall their performances at the Palais fondly. This is a venue that's loved and adored by local and international musicians. It's an emotional venue, it's not a sporting venue that's been kind of converted, it's not a mass venue, it's a very intimate and warm experience. So we're pretty confident that a lot of other acts that have performed here since the 50s will be digging them up, calling them, and I'm sure that they'll be pledging too. So thank you for coming, and spread the word. It's a community-led drive to refurbish the Palais with community funds, looking for promoter relationships, and also asking the state government to take their responsibility to preserve this heritage building for all of Australians and internationals to enjoy. Thank you very much.